HD family, it is your boy, Mr. A to the Z, Ayanda Zwalo, coming to you live with Southern Stars, brought to you by Beaver Creek and South Coast HD. And today, we are having a very deep, intimate, and of course, lively conversation with someone the community knows all too well around Margate. If you're an artist or you've even dabbled in anything to do with art, the man sitting next to me is someone I'm pretty sure you know or would love to know. As usual, our guests introduce themselves, so sir.
Okay. Okay. Igama lami linguSiyakudumisa qaliphelele kuthiwa nguSiyakudumisa.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, most of the people they call me Usiya for whatever reason.
Very passionately
They get the, yeah, very abanye they say uPrasiya wakwaSotsu. Originally from Eastern Cape in a small village called Khohlombeni, Enqanqaho. Maglie ke town yakhona, but recently sebeyibiza ngeNqanqaho. I've moved around until I established myself fully with my home here in the South Coast.
Okay, yeah. Very interesting. So let's just touch into the basics. Yeah. You said you come from a very small town. I've personally never heard of Leondao.
You're not the only one.
I've never heard of it. So
you're not the only one. That's why it's important for us, whenever we sit in platforms like these ones, we say it.
Yeah.
Because there's so much that came out of those places. So we say it. I'm from a small village called Khohlombeni, and that's me. So what you see now is a product from a particular village. Yeah, even the small town, Margate, you don't know about. But I know you know Nat Mankai.
Yes.
So you would know Utusogapi, ideally.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, and what was it like for Usiya growing up?
Usiya grew up like any other young boy that grows up in the village. I was born in Leratong, Joburg.
Oh, you were born in Joburg?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I was born in Leratong. Then at the age of 3, we moved to the village. My parents, my father was working a mine, so they had to leave me behind with Ukraine. Yeah, so I grew up around Ukraine, traveled for schooling from one village to another. Then later on, when I was think about 9 or 10, I moved and stayed in Umtata.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in a small village again, they called Ereni, Mampondweni.
Ereni, okay.
Yeah. So I grew up there, studied my first grades there. As is standard, grades into Yangoku. Went to live at Pain. From there, I went to stay in Joburg full time. Then I went for my graduation at Val, my higher learning at Val University of Technology now.
Okay.
Yeah. Then for where started working that side, then moved to KZN. Yeah. So I've moved from Engutu, worked Engutu, spoke Zulu, Namazulu, but remained grounded as close as
close. It must have been very tricky.
One way.
We know those politics.
One way. So then I went to work at Kokstad. I was a teacher, in fact, in one of the schools there called the Abangeni. So I came back at Kokstad as a teacher, took a decision at some point with no, I hasn't done. I want to continue studying. Then I left language teaching.
Okay.
Then I saw a post, Yase Museum. Then I applied. And then that's how I ended up in this space.
Wow.
So 2008, if I'm not mistaken, 2008, I started in the South Coast. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that from I'm going to apply for this job, you were going to impact so many lives? Because we need to touch into how many people you've actually we like to say you've put on, you've got them there. So before we get into that, was art something you saw yourself doing? Was this something that was ever part of your childhood? Because you've changed so many lives.
From the emerald groves, our journey starts. With tender hands, we pick, we part. Through pulping tides and sunlit air, each beam is dried with utmost care. By knowing eyes, the best are found. In perfect roasts, their flavors crowned. Packed with love from us to you. Beaver Creek Coffee, pure and true. Crafted with passion, our promise remains. Sip the essence, taste the song, the journey savored all day long. Every cup a story, every sip a dream.
So
art has always been part of me. When I say it has always been part of me, I mean you are born with it. Then you decide to remain an artist. It's a decision that you take. I'm one of those kids that decided to remain an artist. Yes, I did commerce for a specific period of time until grade 12. Idea was at some point I will become a chartered accountant or an auditor or something. But the love of art overtook everything. And my focus was more on becoming an artist. And after grade 12, I told my parents, listen, I would love to follow what you are interested in me following. But looking at the landscape right now, things are not looking good. I would rather go and be an artist, fulfill what I'm feeling, and that's it. But earlier, like a primary, it was not that easy to understand that you are an artist and art is a career. So it was more like you are just one of those kids regarded as were slow learners.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, they take a lot of time to understand a lot of things, only to find out the problem was with the teachers and how I was taught as a creative person. Because for me in class, everything was creative. If people are not happy in class, I make them happy. If there's too much relaxation. So I was known to be a naughty child, but I was very careful with my studies as well. You can tell teachers at that level did not have an understanding of the type of a child I am. So if you give me a book that I need to read and there's no pictures, that book is very boring. So I'll read and create the pictures and put you as a teacher in the picture.
Oh wow, creative minds.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, before we continue, I want to know, when you started the job at the museum, what were your intentions? Did you ever think you were going to...
I was tired of the Department of Education. I'll be honest. I was tired of the Department of Education. I was also tired of trying to make these things happen. Because I knew, I grew up in Joburg. I would go to every event that is happening that I can get an opportunity to go to. I would attend every class that is art-related. So when you get to the Department of Education, and then as a teacher, you are teaching someone within a school, but when they go outside of the school, there's no art. At school, there's art, but that art within the school, art I visitela when it's break time or when it's after school. Or if a period corner is about this small few minutes. Then I got frustrated. Then started doing classes outside the school.
Oh wow!
Doing classes after school as well. So if you're doing classes outside the school, then there's lack of funding because there's no one who's funding that type of a project. Then you apply in the municipality departments, and then you don't get proper responses. When I say proper responses, we are looking for developmental responses. You know, if you are sitting in a meeting and people are talking savings for water, and then you stand up and then you talk savings for writers or savings for photography, for any other form of art, then you will be left behind. Those things frustrated me. So I decided, okay, I'll leave the Department of Education, continue with my studies, and apply in the municipality so that I can get to understand how the system is working.
That was...
Unfortunately, the post that I got was at a low level, which was good for me because I got to understand the landscape.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That is insane.
So for me, when I got here, my first 3 years was more like research, getting to understand who is doing what and how are they doing it.
Okay, wow.
Then I developed programs that will assist in the process so that there is development. That's why today we're able to sit here, have a podcast, nice and beautiful, but it's not municipality's idea. It's your idea as a crew. And you get to benefit out of it, your own thinking. You are not employed by anyone. That was the philosophy when I was telling my parents, I'm going to the higher learning so that I can learn how to survive without being employed.
Wow.
That was the thinking.
That was excellent foresight, my guy. Well done. And now, you say your first 3 years was about learning the landscape. How was the landscape then compared to now? Because South Coast has changed a lot. So what changes have you seen now from the perspective of Ikhutman looking at these things happening and people changing, coming and going?
Mind you, I was young at that time. 2008, I was very young. Even when I started teaching, I think it was 21, 22, somewhere there.
That is...
Yeah. So when I got here, things were happening, but people were doing, for example, theater. I'll say theater. That one is specific. We had Mr. Pai. He was working with one of the guys, white guys around, and was the only one who was doing theater at that time. Was the only one. Then we realized, okay, let's look at the landscape for visual arts. That one is theater. Let's look at visual arts. We had this museum. When I looked at the collection is Western. Let me put it that way. The whole collection is Western.
Like the entire room is Western?
The entire collection, not necessarily on display.
Oh, okay.
When you go to the storeroom, where we keep our artworks, when you look at the inventory list of the artworks, it's all Western.
Oh, okay.
Now we needed to find a way to make it work so that you are able, as a young person outside the museum, to relate to the museum. Also to relate to the concept of the creative arts. Fortunately, I was very active as well. So we started doing classes for theater. In fact, first year when I got here, I got the winner of the youth award, Ugu Youth Award. But because I was working for a municipality, I could not go and collect it. So my wife went and collected it.
Politics. Sorry, it was an award for?
Youth Award.
Okay, nice.
That's
nice.
They did that sports and leisure. I think that time they were doing awards and whatnot. So the landscape was not conducive. That's what I can say. It was not as conducive as it is now in terms of the development. When I say it was not conducive, I'm not only referring to the opportunities, the funding, and everything else. Even access to information, even knowledge for the people who are involved in the creative arts. So we needed to work out a plan how do we then create access to these places where you can practice as a young person in relation with the schools, the municipality, the community, meaning within that space of designing, we needed to identify who is doing what, which organizations are in the same space of the development, and how do we respond as the municipality to those challenges that are faced by artists. At that time, I was an officer. In fact, I was called an assistant, a museum assistant.
Okay, interesting.
So my power was very little in terms of deciding within the museum. So I was the one who would take a taxi, go to Kamalake, do a workshop on how to draw.
Okay, wow.
Go to Kwanzimakwe, take a taxi, go to Kwanzimakwe, go to Emanzamnyama, go to Ezingolweni, using a taxi. Every Saturday I would do that. So we checked with the Timber Club and everything.
Oh, Timber Club never come over.
Yes. I'm not sure if they are still there, but I see the cars and everything. So we would go out at that level. When I became a curator, then I decided, no, we can't be having a space where we have a collection that is not representing everyone. So we took a decision that we will, with the residential artists, there's Art by the Sea on their side. When I say we took a decision, I'm not saying as an individual. That's why I'm using the word we took a decision. I'm inclusive of the people who were involved in the board, which the board was made out of members from Art by the Sea, members from the municipality, especially the portfolio for arts and culture. So we sat down and the Department of Arts and Culture within Reinkonyen with the management of the Reinkonyen. So we took a decision to then say, let's have programs that will assist. Inkundla Theatre was developed.
Wow.
In the process of developing Inkundla Theatre Festival, other programs as well were developed. We looked at poetry, reading and writing clubs. Also, instead of us focusing on the projects that we are doing, we also paid attention to what other people were doing. So we said municipality needs to support. If you are doing an event, that event needs to be supported.
Oh, wow.
Especially if it's a creative arts development. We got involved in the Ugu Jazz Festival to say, let's get involved. But people did not understand what is happening in terms of the creative arts. That's why in 2012, we said the Ugu Jazz must have what we call a conference before it happens.
Okay.
Yeah. So my story is very long.
No, it's very interesting actually because...
My story is very long. So I'm taking you now from what the municipality had done. I had not stepped into what we have done as the activists of the creative sector.
So then what have you done as the
activist? Outside the municipality. Remember, when we are talking about the development of the creative sector, you will find there is no policies that speak to what you guys are doing.
Oh, okay.
When I say there's no policies that talk to what you are doing, there's nothing mandating the municipality to say, over a certain period of time, there should be at least a certain number of development done for the creative sector in this field. You understand? So we said, no, as artists, because over and above being employed, I'm an artist myself.
Okay.
I went and studied for the creative arts. So it means the landscape needs to be properly laid with the policies in place, with the resources in place, infrastructure in place. So those are the things that you talk about as an activist. You say, how do we influence the policies? Who makes the policies? So in this case, the council chamber sits. Council chamber is made out of the councillors, the administration officers. So when people sit around the council chamber, everyone is represented.
Okay, nice.
Amakos are represented. The community is represented by the councillors. The businesses are represented. Small and big, micro, what businesses are represented. But you sit and look, there's nothing that talks about you as an artist.
Wow.
In that representation. Yeah, So we said, no, if you don't know what you are doing at a ground level, then we need to make you understand what you are doing. What does that mean? It means you need to be made aware that you can live through the arts, but you need to understand that if you are using a camera, if we performance, music or theater, which sector do you fall in? And that's where certain organizations were developed.
Okay.
And as the Ugu district, we participated in the development of those.
Wow.
I was warned by Siyamcelo not to say a lot of things, so I'll just say the organizations, you know. So I'll just, artists belong to such organizations that speaks about such things, to say we can't have a landscape that is not governed by the policies, that is not conducive in terms of structures for the creative sector. You must not pay to come here and do this thing.
It should be free.
It should be free. You must not pay to go and do your thing and make money and pay all these guys. Pay all these guys. But if you go now, you have to pay first.
That would be the case.
Yeah, it's even worse if you are doing an event that you have to pay at the door. So those things need to change. Those are the frustrations I was facing at that time. Equation how is it different from then, and
how have things changed?
How have things changed? We've managed. I'll talk first here. We've managed to change a collection so that it represents everyone else that is within the community.
And you can see. Actually.
You can see.
You can tell. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Art by the Sea is open. You can talk to anyone from Art by the Sea, because this is their exhibition. You can talk to anyone. They will tell you this space is open. You can come as a residential artist and be part of the organization and exhibit with everyone else that is exhibiting. This space, once a year, we are open to everyone for open exhibitions. Meaning you can submit whether you are a professional or semi-professional or budding artist. You can apply and be part of this exhibition, put up your work and make your sales.
Nice.
You can come here. I think we spoke no producer show about coming here. There were no papers in between that talks to you coming here and everything else, because you are within the creative sector. So anyone, so that when I live in this space, it should not be difficult for someone else to continue where we are. That's the type of programs we've created in this space.
I love that.
Outside this space, the people who are organizing programs, the people who are organizing programs, I'm referring to the people who used to organize your Ugu Jazz Festival, who are now organizing off-ramp. There's people who are organizing Ukumaskandi festivals. There's people who are organizing the jazz what. When you look at their shows, the lineup, the people who are working are people from this space. So those are the changes that we've made. Uguti, you are able to look at the event and see Uguti, it talks to the people who are here. And over and above, now you are able to say, Putsia, I don't like what you are doing.
Okay.
As long as you are in a proper platform. A proper platform in a sense, Uguti, every year around March before that open exhibition, we do a conference as the municipality for the Ugu district. We do it as Reinkonyen for the Ugu district, where artists gets to present what they have been doing, like what you are doing. Next year, you guys will be invited to do your presentation.
Listen up, guys, yes?
The departments that are busy with the creative sector are able to present and say, this is what we've been doing. I think tomorrow there's a breakfast show at TVET College to talk about these things.
That's interesting.
Because we've said, if you have a college, and then you've got Usiyamcela, who is a producer for the show, and he has cameras, and then the college is also producing students that will later on need, in-service training. Why can't South Coast High Definition, give that in-service training, you know? Those are the things that we've developed so far. I can think of many, probably as the show goes on. I'll remember.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we discussed something with Uprasia regarding artists and them knowing what they are doing. And I was a bit confused because you're an artist. I know what I'm doing. I'm creating art. So I figured I must be missing something, right?
Yeah, true.
So Prasia, please indulge me. What did you mean by that?
Okay. When I say artists, they need to understand what they are doing. With art, it's not just art. There's a lot behind. You are responsible for healing someone else.
Wow.
Without healing someone else, you are responsible for healing yourself. And you are the closest person to what we now understand as God, as the creator.
That's true.
You are the closest thing that you can think of as a creator. So you need to be careful how you create your art. So if you understand the weapon that you have, it's up to you how you decide to use it for the benefit of the community or for the benefit of the next person and even for yourself. What makes matters even worse is if you are an artist and within you lives art, you become a distraction if that expression is not put out there. You are like a pregnant woman. At some point you must give birth. And if you don't give birth, whatever is inside you will kill you.
Wow.
And when it kills you, you will be destructive around the people you are with. Yeah, So that's why I was saying to you, artists need to understand what is it that they have. What you have is something that can heal the next person. It's something that can destroy the next person. It is also something that can take you out of a poverty situation and make you a better person. I mean, one song is
what it takes.
Just one song. One song. And when you watch how the songs are made, and then you look at how many people are involved in the process of making a song, make things worse, even worse than what I'm saying. A creative work cannot be enjoyed without a set of people. Whether it's the other one receiving what you've created or the other one helping you to create what you are creating. When we realized that we've got a problem of people not knowing what the museum is and the museum needed to go to the community.
I think that was a very big thing, actually.
The municipality paid nothing to get what we are doing now. But the strategy that we've created, or the door that we've opened, I think a year ago or 2 years ago, to say, Blizzard as the producer, no, you can use the museum. That's up to you. You can use the museum whenever to do your thing. When he gave me a call, I was like, don't worry, we can use use the museum. But look at the mileage that the municipality is given by just a set of few guys who are in the creative art. If you were to quantify, I'm looking for that word. If you were to quantify the mileage that this show is gonna give to the institution, one, which belongs to the municipality, let alone that we are talking because you are talking to me and this information is with me. Think about it, the mileage that you'll be giving. It's a lot. If you are to pay, I mean, you are looking at not less than 80,000.
Wow.
If you look at the mileage and you have to put, you have to quantify it. Do we know about that? Is there anyone informed enough to respond immediately? So those are the struggles that we are facing outside the employment as the activists of the creative sector. You make the artist understand what they have and what they are capable of doing. You also make the next person who has got the muscle to make this thing work. Because if someone does not have an RDP or they want a vote or whoever, I hope you will edit this part, okay?
No, kulum.
No, I'm joking, man. I'm joking. I mean, it's an open conversation. So if a political party wants your vote, there are certain benefits that you will get.
Yeah, we know that.
So there's people who stands up during the budget imbizo and what and say we need the roads. But how many people do you hear standing up during imbizo and say, can we have an art center in this place? And within 2 years or 3 years, the art center is there. So we all need to understand. That's me talking as an activist for the creative sector. So we get political in terms of the arts. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting, man.
It's a different head. It's a completely different head. And I say these things fearful, not fearful of anything, because they affect how the service delivery is done. This is beautiful, nice service delivery to the community when people receive it on the other side and say, we were listening to the interview at the Margate Art Museum. Now we know about the art museum. We are going to visit the art museum. Today we've got a booking, the school. If they can come in now during this process, do you know how much motivation a child would get
actually,
just from seeing it in action? I've never seen it, just for seeing it in action. And then they see themselves during the flighting of the thing, the podcast. So everyone gets to see what we are doing. I've seen guys, they were taken from just a video. You know how many opportunities we are giving to people, even for bookings. People see the people you interview from your show and say, yes, Banban, I've seen your profile. That's what they say. I've seen your profile. But who did the profile? You see, if that artist had to pay for profiling,
it'd be a different story altogether.
Guys. I think it's high time we get to understand where we are coming from, what we have done, and what we need to do. So this is for the benefit of anyone who's on a power to give money to people who are doing such things, to say, let's allow these guys to proceed. In the process, the service delivery will be given to people.
Okay, nice. So then, like, moving forward with I'm an artist, what can the up-and-coming artist do? And what can umuntu watching at home do to, let's say, succeed? Words of advice from everything you've seen.
Sure. There's a lot. We can talk the whole day. But in the ballet is to understand where are we now in terms of the creative art. Where are we now in terms of the creative art within our space, within our district, within the province, and the nation as South Africa. Of course, the continent as well. Then openly.
The world, yes.
This is the language that people are talking. This is the language. Digitization. It's the language they understand now. Are we there yet? We're not there yet. Who is going to take us there? It's the creative arts.
The innovators.
The innovators. So if we don't put money in this, someone else is going to overtake and start colonizing. Yabona if bekuthiwa namandla Ayanda. If bekuthiwa namandla, I was going to tell you guys, I'll buy this lot. Ngicela ningasebenzisi kwenye indawo without i-rights zami. Sibese siyavumelana ukuthi nisebenzise on what basis because ngizobe ndisithengile kunxa nisebenzisa. Because why? You are at the museum. You are doing the work profiler the museum and also profiling the institution as a whole. That's what I would do. But what advice do I have for an artist and up and coming person is very simple. Be part of what is happening.
What is happening at the library? Because a lot of Abantu at home don't actually know that almost everything happens here, guys. Everything happens here. So please just explain, some programs and some of the things you do across the different art platforms.
This is the language. We keep on saying at the library. This is the museum.
Oh.
The library is in the next door.
Yeah.
This one is the museum.
A whole entity on its own.
A whole entity on its own. But ngokwe map, sorry, not ngokwe map, ngokwe plan, your building, it's one institution. Ngokwe operations, it's separate institutions. Ngokwe understanding, because if you are an artist, you will then go to the library to get books to read and then do all these things that are done in the library. Then come to the institution where these artworks have been created and now you can see them live and also get an opportunity to see an artist straight. Talk to the artist. They are here. Unlike reading a book or looking at the pictures and then you don't know the artist, then you start making your own interpretation. So here we've got exhibitions that we do within the museum. The exhibition, like I was saying, this one is an open, is an exhibition by Art by the Sea. They do it every time in August because they celebrate their existence as an organization. As the museum, because we are short-staffed, it was a concern for me to say, why can't we have artists in residence? So
that's a very good question, actually.
So you've got residential artists. So they are here as residential artists. They can come anytime when they want, create their own work, when and if. Then as the municipality, we give them space to exhibit what they want to exhibit. Sometimes support the opening of the exhibitions and everything else. Now, within exhibitions, we also have open exhibitions. I think I told you about the one that is normally in March.
You did, yes.
That's open to anyone, whether you've got a child trying to be an artist. Most of those exhibitions, they go with workshops. So it's a workshop, exhibition, workshop, exhibition. Then you get theatre festival called Inkundla.
Inkundla, yes. Heard about it, yes.
You've heard about it.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Inkundla Theatre Festival is also part of the programs that we've designed and also are managing the implementation of it. So artists also, before they participate, they get the opportunity to be workshopped. Then it's a developmental program. So we're at a developmental level. There's no point where we say, now we've got a professional. Yes, we do get to see people who are now professional artists and whatnot, then they come back. So we also have the guy that plays the piano, creative chromatics. I think he calls himself creative chromatics. But it's a space that we've opened for him to teach music. Nice. So that when they are outside the college and they've got their own spare time, they can be able to come here, teach music, and then make their own people pay. Because if I want to learn a piano, then someone must teach me how to play it. We've got Saturday drawing classes that we do.
I've got a friend's daughter that comes here. I found out for the first time. I was like, what kind of drawing classes?
Yeah. So we do have drawing classes. That's what I can think of. Then we're doing outreach programs.
Like what, sir?
We do your Inkundla Theatre Festival is an outreach program.
Oh.
The poetry programs that we are doing are outreach programs. If the schools invite us, then we go do whatever presentations there's called. There's into yentombi, sitaba coordinator, umhlanga. Doesn't matter the size.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, doesn't matter the size. Right now, Babuye Sunday, they were enyokeni. They went enyokeni. Abantwana base balapa bonke. So I think about 9 buses.
9.
They are coordinated here. So there's quite a lot of work that we do. Sometimes we design our outreach programs based on the need. When I say based on the need, I'll make an example. If there's a program that you are doing. I think Saturday we're at Sister Fella's what?
Yes.
Yeah, such a program. So we then mobilize people to participate in a program like that one. Also, because event organizers are also people who are up and coming, we sometimes find people who can assist, advise on how best can you develop your project to become what it is at a particular time.
Okay. Yeah. Now, very quickly, what is this bag?
Okay. This is a bag that we purchased from one of the legends, Babu Pensosha. Yeah, it's a clay bag. It's made out of clay. He weaves the clay. Yeah, you can touch it. It's
Emma, there's clay, got the konintambo, there's rope here as well.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is fine work.
Yeah. That's the type of work that we have.
I thought this was leather, Kaba.
Yeah, it does look like leather.
Wow.
He's a master. He's one of the few legends from the Rockstrift that we have around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Beautifully done.
So where can we actually find you? I'm at details work. Where can I want to communicate with you?
I always say the best thing is to visit the museum. The best thing is to visit the museum.
Where is the museum? Just tell everyone in Margate right now Wuti Sigepi and where.
Okay. Now the museum is situated at 10 Pinar, 1010 Pinar, Civic Center, Yase Margate. It's just behind a private hospital. There's only one private hospital, so you can visit here. We also have a phone that you can use. I'm sure they will show it at the bottom.
Smart man.
Yeah. With other details as well. So yeah, visiting the museum is the best thing because you get to have the conversation with the person. And one of the things that I've experienced, Uguti, you get a person saying, Siya, I've got a child that does art. Athethe yonke into right about umntanakhe. And when you get to the child and then you listen to what they want to do, all they want is to be supported. They are not yet at a stage where they want to become something out of art. We don't create artists so that they become artists. We create them so that they think positively in anything they do.
Wow.
If they decide to become artists, it's okay, but that's not the purpose.
Wow. Hey, wise words. And because of those wise words, see, we are, and Beaver Creek, we are going to give you, please accept this, some delicious Beaver Creek espresso blend, number 4 dark roast. It smells amazing. Brasia, please enjoy this from us and from our proud and lovely sponsors at Beaver Creek. Please enjoy the coffee.
Coffee, too, thank you very much. Yes, I once received a coffee, guys. I'm telling you, is it easy?
Oh, it's easy and it's so delicious. It's so delicious.
Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it.
No, we actually appreciate you. It's unfortunate that I still have a lot more to talk about with Brasia, so I'm going to try to arrange for a deeper conversation about the workings of the library and more of the work you do, because I feel you've got a lot of knowledge to give.
There's a lot. Bro.
Yes, and there's a lot of people, you'd be surprised, would actually want to know behind the works and want to know, what do I have to do to do what you are doing? Because the impact you have on the community and my friends personally within their respective arts.
And also to talk about the arts in general, for me, it's always a good thing.
Always, ne?
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
No, definitely. Go out there before Harmony, ne? Please just look at that camera and repeat after me, ne?
Okay.
South Coast HD.
South Coast HD.
And Southern Stars.
And Southern Stars.
Is the only place.
Is the only place.
You should be.
You should be.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned for much, much more. Enjoy your Beaver Creek coffee and enjoy everything in HD.